But I think if something's gonna like a trade will be made, I think it's gonna be draft night.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it'll be
I think
like
so too.
last minute. But then the interesting thing is, where does Justin Fields go?
I think he stays. I think they.
You think so?
I think they trade down and they go get a position player.
Okay.
That's what I think. Now, just also for the podcast listeners, the reason why we talk about sports and things like that, because we're just trying to have talks that other dads have, like at barbecues and things like that. So we're gonna be talking sports. We're gonna be talking just kind of, I don't know. I kind of brought this up, like kind of conspiracy theories. I think sometimes guys around the fire pit, right, around the barbecue, kind of start talking about some things like, well, did you know, did you think about this or anything like that? Maybe not full on crazy like tinfoil hat, but just like, hey, like there's once these giants that lived in this mountain or something like that, right? Like just kind of fun stuff, right? Just kind of different talks and conversations that dads have, when they're out at Little League or something like that, right? Just fun stuff.
So it definitely won't be the last. For those of you that can't tell, this Jets helmet over here, I'm the Jets fan.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to I'm going to spare everybody today and not go down the rabbit hole because I get super passionate about it because our team has stunk for longer than the Texans have even been a team. But I'm waiting on Aaron Rodgers to see what he's going to do. That's what our whole team's doing. So
there you go.
We'll see what happens with all that.
And we're rocking the Drew Brees because Drew is like I've met him before. Story for another day, but man, Drew is like an awesome dad.
Yeah,
he's an awesome dad, and so man, a dream is to get Drew on the podcast one day. We're just starting off, but he's an awesome dad. It just me seeing an interaction with this kid, like like he was a stellar dad, and he seems like that even on TV. Like it's crazy. Like you see that on TV. Him, the way he interacted with his kids when he was still playing and things like that, playing catch with them and having Brady kind of play with them and things like that, and then kind of see it like also backed up in real life. Like that's. Like he's just not doing it for show. Like he's a real dad. So I thought it was fitting to bring in the Drew Brees autograph helmet for that.
And how he went out and announced his like retirement with his kids, man.
Yeah,
that was so awesome.
Awesome.
For those of you who have not seen that video, you should definitely. It's a YouTube look up. It'll make your heart nice and warm. Shout out to Drew Brees.
In the fields, unlike Jordan, when Jordan got inducted to the Hall of Fame, just like I've done this on my own. It's just me, like forget my kids, nobody, like it's just me, like I think Drew's the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's really great. Speaking of conspiracies, though,
one
that you told me about this week, which has blown my mind.
Okay,
the Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
dude, I could go on for hours. Can't because I don't think we got enough time. But there's a new theory that since Kanye disappeared, that the Kanye that we're seeing right now is a new Kanye, that he's like a clone Kanye. And the reason why they say that, right, it's kind of is like one, Kanye said that if he disappeared and came back, it wouldn't be him, it'd be a clone. Right? And so they're starting to say that his height, they say Kanye is like, I think 5'9" is what they were saying, 5'8", 5'9". And his new wife is like I think he's 5'8". His new wife is 5'9". So she's supposed to be taller than him. Right. But there's a picture and she has these heels, so it's supposed to make her a whole lot taller.
Right.
And Kanye's standing next to her and he's like way taller than her. And, he was like anti, Balenciaga. Now he's shopping at Balenciaga. So like the theory is like, this ain't the real Kanye. So I don't know.
Well, the Yeezys thing too, right? Like
he's now back with Adidas.
Yeah, with Adidas and how that like broke down and the reasoning behind that in today's like society, there's no coming back from that. And the fact that
So the remaining Yeezys. Yeah.
Yeah. You had Adidas breaking contracts like this past week with Live Golf guys. And yet, like everything that went down with Kanye, you're just repairing that relationship. Again, a lot more money invested in that. I understand, but
who knows, man?
Crazy.
Again, now I can talk myself away from the conspiracy and explain, well, I don't think anybody really measured her height in the, and so, I could kind of deflate, but I have so many thoughts about Kanye. We'll save it for another podcast.
Yeah.
I think Kanye is one of the, like a very interesting character. Just to kind of give you a preview when we do decide to talk about it, I really think Kanye West is like a caricature of like American spirituality.
Sure.
And so as a minister and things like that, like, I think that's, like, he's just an interesting case study. But I really truly believe he's a caricature of American Christianity.
Right.
And so, but we'll save that for another day. But I tend to be kind of fascinated by Kanye things. I'm also a fan. I love his music.
Sure.
I love his shoes. I love slides. I like it all. So anywho, that's a little bit kind of deeper into me. Who's your favorite like artist or band?
Oh man, so I'm a huge 80s buff. One thing about me, like if I could be reborn in the 80s, like dude, I'd be the best teenager. I'd be the greatest example of a teenager in the 80s because I love Van Halen, Motley Crue.
So you want to be born in the 70s so you can be like grow up in the 80s?
Yes. I should have been, I guess, let's rephrase that. I should have been a teenager in the 80s.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Gotcha. Because I was born in the 80s and
Okay.
I can see myself as a 90s kid because I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. That's
right.
Me.
So like Huey Lewis in the News, like one of my all-time favorite movies, Back to the Future.
Yep. Classic.
Oh, so good. So yeah, that's my vibe too, like color wise as well. Like, dude, I love like the neon, like blues and like pinks, man. Like I dig it. I really do. So, love the oldies like that. I've gotten more into country music. Morgan Wallen's like one of my guys. Okay. Love Morgan Wallen. Monster John Mayer fan. I love Mayer.
I love Mayer.
Dude, he's so good.
I love Mayer. Like, I think he's awesome as a musician. Yes. Like, I think he's awesome. You may call us suckers or punks or whatever like that, but yo, like, give that man a guitar, bro.
Sings. It sings.
And sings. Like, I don't know if you've heard, like, Room Squares, right? Like, Neon, right? His strum pattern that he has for that, he actually taught, right, students from Berklee School of Music how to do that strum pattern because it's like finger picking and strumming at the same time. It's just crazy. He's freaking phenomenal. Like he's amazing. He's amazing. I've seen him live a couple times.
Have you really?
Yeah.
See, I've never seen him live.
I've seen him live. One time I bought tickets, right, for me and Michelle to go see John Mayer like live, and I couldn't afford really good, seats. And we were dating. Actually, it was like our second official date, maybe our third official date. But it was a third official date, and we went to go see John Mayer. And so I got like these like cheapy, like, because it's all I could afford, man. And so we're kind of in the nosebleed sections, and somebody comes in from like the Toyota Center, is like, hey, would y'all like to sit a little bit closer? I'm like, yeah, like do you even have to? And so they take us all away. They had no idea that Mayer had like these like side platforms on either side, and so he would kind of step onto these side platforms, and he would just kind of shred scenes from the side platforms and things like that. And so they were on both ends. So he was on the center, and then these two side platforms. So they didn't know that, and so they didn't sell tickets for any of the side platforms.
Are you serious?
So instead of having like an empty section for him to play, they decided just to fill it in with different people.
That's awesome.
We showed up early, right? So this is like, yo, like you should show up early to events, right? Because you never know what may happen.
Yeah.
But because we showed up early, they said, hey, do you want? And it's like, yeah. And so before you know it, they filled it up with people for the side platform. And there we were, man, and caught Mayer, got to see him pretty close and things like that. So it was like one of it was like one of my top concerts.
Dude. I'm so jealous. Yeah. So he's going back on tour now. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's not coming to Texas. Shout out John Mayer. If you could, please come to Texas. I would totally go to the show. Most underrated album, John Mayer Trio.
I love that album.
Been rumors. Pino Palladino on bass. Steve Jordan on drums.
Yep.
Some of the best, like Who Did You Think I Was? Another Kind of Green.
Another Kind of Green was classic.
Oh, dude.
Bold as Love on that one.
Bold as Love.
On that one, dude, was classic. Classic.
And there's been rumors for years that like every time he announces like he's working on a new album, it's always, is it the new track? Because he keeps saying he's going to do they're going to do one more.
Yep.
And he hasn't done it yet. Man.
One day, man.
Bring it out.
One day.
But I've recently been going back into like the early 2000s and like late 90s, like punk stuff for whatever reason. I don't know why. But what about you?
Me, so yeah, I'm more of a rap and kind of hip hop guy.
All right.
That's kind of where I'm at. I love Kendrick. I love Kanye. Listen to some J. Cole, things like that. I'm also at that age, right? Maybe other dads can relate, like where I'm starting listening to new music, man. I'm starting like, yo, man, like music was better in the 90s. Music was better in the early 2000s. And so I find myself, right, and I hate that I have to admit this, but I'm admitting it out loud. Like, listen, it's part of being a dad, part of getting older, right? But I'm starting to get to the point, man, where I'm like, yo, music was better back in my day. Hate that I have to say that. Say that, but yo, it's true. Like you put Biggie, you put Pac against any of these some of these new rappers, yo, they own them, right? They own them. Dr. Dre, Snoop. So I count myself doing that. I do like some, like again, John Mayer. I like some of that, pop stuff and top 40 some of that kind of stuff like that. I mean, I'm not, I listen to some country. My wife is a country.
Yeah.
She likes a lot of country music and things like that. But if you're talking about like my go-to, man, I just pop in some headphones and I just like listen to rap. That's kind of typically where I'm
Sure.
at, kind of classic hip hop and things like that.
Went to Brooks and Dunn's last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was really good.
All right.
I'm not like, so just like for reference, I started listening to like country music after high school. So I didn't grow up like listening to it. Hated it actually.
Yeah. I grew up listening to it.
You did?
Yeah, my family, a lot of family listened to it.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm very particular. So like I didn't listen to like Brooks and Dunn growing up, right? So like I started listening to when they came out with the Revival album where you got like Luke Combs on it, and some of these other guys like Casey Musgraves and so yeah, I mean, I knew some of the songs just from that,
Yeah.
but you had some of these songs where everyone just they're singing and they're dancing, and I'm just like, that's cool. I don't know this song.
Boots Goon Boogie, bro. You weren't out there, Boots Goon Boogie.
So I mean, again,
turn around, go to town.
Yeah, but we had the kids with us.
Okay,
they're great. Put Noah to sleep in like during the rodeo.
Really?
Yeah, like homegirl went to sleep, and Benjamin, as the night went on, got like more wild, and which. Dude, but the show started at 9.
Yeah, it's late. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, they were probably 4 or 5 songs in, and me and Taylor, like they sang I forgot, it was one of their big songs, and me and Taylor were kind of like, she was, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. So we bolted out of there, and as we're walking out, we can hear him playing Boots Good Boogie, and I'm like, dang it, that's the one song
gotta miss it. You missed it.
But
dang.
Yeah, concert guy for sure. You like concerts?
I like concerts. I haven't gone very much because they're too expensive. And so part of being a dad is like you're also broke, right? Yeah. And so we haven't really gone to a whole bunch like we used to. I used to be at a point, again, it was just me and then me and Michelle. Like I used to try to go concert a month.
Really?
Yeah, I used to go concert a month.
That's awesome. Who's your first concert?
My first concert, I mean, obviously, man, I'm a Christian and things like that. I mean, and so... Again, my faith story, my salvation story, I didn't come to Christ until I was like 18.
Yeah.
I'm not going to count like, backyard, bashes as a concert and stuff like that. But like a real first official concert and things like that. It was probably like a worship band or something like that. I can't remember, probably David Crowder or something like that. It's probably the first kind of concert that I went to that I kind of remember. We paid money to go into things like that. But like shows, I'm trying to think of the show. I saw Incubus, right?
Okay.
So I saw Incubus a couple times, man. It was just a real fun show and things like that. A lot of potheads, right? Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. It was a real fun show. I've caught Kanye West, hands down one of the best concerts that I've ever seen, bro. I would go see Mute Math. I mean, I'm over here mentioning a whole bunch of I'm mentioning a whole bunch of old bands, man. Trice.
Allies, one of the greatest albums. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. It's Trice and things like that. Like I would see all these different bands. I mean, if I've heard the band, liked them, I would buy tickets
for sure.
I think for the experience,
and it enhances, I think, your love for that band.
Yeah,
if it's especially if you're not necessarily, I wouldn't say on the fringe, but you're kind of like, dude, I appreciate what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And you appreciate it more when you see them. My first concert was Seabird, right? I think it's what they're called. They're not a band anymore. But headlining was Switchfoot.
Okay.
And major Switchfoot fan. That was one of my favorite bands of all time. John Foreman's one of the greatest songwriters. And who opened for them, like in the middle, was Reliant K. And it was the year that Reliant K released their Christmas album. They released it in July. Is when they released it.
Awesome.
And dude, it was awesome. I'll never forget that. Big Reliant K fan as well. They opened up. I'll never forget them opening up Reliant K when they came on. They had an old jukebox and they sat in the middle and it was playing some of their songs and it was like skipping tracks. And they came in and just like, someone please save us. It's college kids.
That's crazy.
Oh, dude, it was great.
That's crazy. So yeah, anywho, I like concerts. Just haven't been able to go in a while.
We're gonna change that, bro. We got
to change that, bro. Like so. I mean, again, man, you lived, as a single guy, right, and then as a married with no kids, like it radically changes. We start adding kids into the picture. Even early on, you can kind of do stuff like when they're babies and stuff like that, or little, or even just have like grandma baby. Like when it's just one to babysit, it's awesome. Yeah. Right. When you start saying, "Yo, I need you to babysit all 3 of these bad kids," like it becomes an issue.
Yeah. No, for sure. So before we go, one more question.
Yeah. What's up, bro?
What would be? Oh dang it, my mind blanked. I was gonna ask you. Give us one. Oh, hobby. What is your hobbies?
Yeah, I am a guy who literally the saying, a jack of all trades, master of none. Like that's me. I have tons of hobbies. Like my main one is like autographed memorabilia is kind of the big hobby that I have. Again, I got connected with some really cool people that allowed me to kind of experience and do some really cool things. Like, again, like I was saying, meet Drew Brees, not like, hey, like, can you please sign this at a table and then walk away? But like, no, like drive him around, talk to him and things like that. And so I've had some real cool experiences with autographed memorabilia. And that's kind of the reason why I got into it, because of these experiences and stuff like that. So that's probably my top one. I DJ. And so like, as we're talking about country music and all like that, like, yeah, man, I tend to, I don't do the club scene anymore. Like I'm too old for that, but I do a lot of weddings and stuff like that, DJ weddings. I haven't done it in the past year or so now, being at the church that I'm at now, just really people don't really know me or know that I do that. It's also an older church, so we don't have a lot of young people getting married and things like that. So I'm not DJing like I used to, but I like to DJ and do that. Trying to think of, I started getting sports cards here recently. Yeah. Dude, I love to cook. Like cooking is one of my favorite hobbies as well, checking out new restaurants and stuff like that. And so those are kind of some of my hobbies and things that I enjoy. And hopefully we'll talk about some of those things and kind of bring those things up. I don't know, man. We may open a box of cards one day.
Doing a break?
Doing a break, bro. We definitely may do a break. I think that'd be fun. Yeah. So anywho, those are kind of my hobbies and stuff like that. Man, what are some of yours?
So again, me and Sly are very similar in a lot of things. I'm into a lot of stuff. I've been into a lot of stuff, but like stuff that's stuck. I'm a musician, play guitar, write music, that sort of thing. Love it. It's what I've done my entire life. And the other one would be that is golf, big golfer. I'm used to be, beginning of last year was good. Like you had another kid, you don't get to go to as much or go to the range as much, I'll say, but being what I do for work is I do sales. So like I play a lot with customers. I always get out.
You kind of have to suck, right? To make sure that they win to kind of get the sale, right?
That's a great. I'm using that.
There you go.
I gotta play tomorrow. So
there you go.
But yeah, do that, and then I love to cook also. Me and Taylor, actually, I think I've told you this. Like during the pandemic, we opened up like a little like home cooked meal thing called Boyer Bites. Nice. And we did like for, I don't know, it was probably like 3 months before everything opened back up enough. Right, you couldn't get a home cooked meal or anything, so we were doing that, and that was a lot of fun. I was smoking a ton of chickens, bro. Oh my gosh! All right,
go-to meal. I mean, you were going to do a cook-off, right? And the winner would get, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever you want to say. We'll babysit each other's kids, right? Go-to meal. Me and you competing. What would that meal be?
Oh, I'm smoking a chicken. You're not going to beat me. I'm going to smoke a chicken. I'm going to probably Sides, I'm going to do mac and cheese. Way to everyone's heart.
Okay.
I'm probably going to do a veg. And then I'm going to do a roll. And what I'll probably end up doing is I'm going to make a Brazilian like cheese roll.
Vale queijo.
Yeah, or I'm known for my biscuits. Bro, I got a mean biscuit recipe. Okay. Yeah, my wife's the pickiest eater. She has like the palate of like a 12-year-old. Okay. And love you to death.
Gotta make sure you edit that out. If not, you'll die.
Yeah, probably.
Next week will be podcast just me by myself. BadDadPod with Sly, just him and himself.
Just be a tombstone.
Maybe like you're like the arms of the angel. Like it just be you dead.
And listen,
I'll enjoy your funeral. It's gonna be a fun funeral. I'll have some of your biscuits at your funeral.
Dude, it'd be, what is it? Those memes on Instagram reels where you see them where the Morgan Freeman, and this was the moment when you realized.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
Yeah, but dude, so she likes my biscuits. That's the one thing where I like one of the few things I make, and she'll be like, hey, like you can make some biscuits. That'd be great. So
she likes your biscuits.
She likes my biscuits.
There you
go. Anyway,
okay, cool deal.
Well, guys. This has been the Bad Dad Podcast.
Bad Dad Podcast, episode 1 in the books.
And looks like, as of right now, the plan is to be dropping new episodes every Monday.
Every Monday. Super excited, man. Excited for this journey. Hopefully you're excited too. And we're ready to jump in next week. We're going to kind of hit them hopefully we're going to hit you kind of hard with some pretty good content.
So anyway, love you guys. Appreciate the support. And again, do not forget, go follow us on all social medias. Again, there's only very few that we don't have. And if you want to sign up for the Patreon, love the support there as well.
Absolutely.
Peace out, guys.